Okay, in this video, I'm going over UFC Fight Night, Robert Whittaker versus Reiner De Ridder. It's a super stacked Abu Dhabi fight card. When are they not stacked in Abu Dhabi? And I'm going to be going over the main card in this video. But before we get to the main card, I feel like I need to go over this one first. The headliner prelim of Bryce Mitchell versus Said Nurmagomedov. It's Bryce Mitchell's first bantamweight fight. I need to predict it. So, Bryce Mitchell moved down to bantamweight to fight Said Nurmagomedov in his debut. I think this is very winnable for Bryce Mitchell. Said Nurmagomedov has a nasty guillotine, which Bryce Mitchell's coming off a loss by guillotine to Gene Silva. But Said Nurmagomedov has had problems in the past. He got beaten up by Jonathan Martinez. He's had close fights, very close fights. And he's had troubles with the grappling defensively in the past. He's very dynamic on the feet. He has good takedown defense. But Bryce Mitchell's coming down. He's going to be, for the first time ever, not undersized. He's going to be oversized for Said Nurmagomedov. He's going to have the size advantage, which I think is going to help Bryce Mitchell in the grappling department a lot. And Bryce isn't that, he's not a slouch in the striking. I think it's a very approachable matchup. I could see him getting guillotined, to be honest. I could see him getting front choked. But Bryce Mitchell being so big, it's going to make it hard for Said Nurmagomedov to latch a front choke when Bryce Mitchell's grappling, as long as he's grappling tall and grappling using his range and his height and his size and being physical, which I think Bryce Mitchell is good at doing. And if he's smart and goes into this fight smart and has the guillotine in mind constantly, I think he has a very strong chance to win this fight, and I'm willing to predict it. I'm going to go with Bryce Mitchell by decision against Said Nurmagomedov, but if Said does win, I bet you it's a fucking guillotine, sadly. But I think Bryce Mitchell is a solid featherweight contender who's only really lost to the best, to be honest. He lost to Gene Silva, Ilia Topuria, and Josh Emmett. And Said Nurmagomedov's not going to knock him out like Josh Emmett did. And Ilia Topuria and Gene Silva are proving to be some of the best fighters on earth. So, I'm going to go with Bryce Mitchell. I have a little bit of faith in him. But if he can't get past Said, I don't have much faith going forward. But if Bryce can be a pretty decent contender at featherweight, he can beat the Said Nurmagomedovs of the bantamweight division, I would hope at least. Next, we have the main card, Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Guskov. So Nikita is coming off a knockout loss to Dominic Reyes, which was unexpected to me. I really thought Nikita Krylov had what it takes to beat Dominic Reyes and kind of make a run at light heavyweight. He's very good in general. I picked Nikita to beat Dominic Reyes. It didn't happen. That's okay, though. Bogdan Guskov is a very powerful, technical, good fighter all around. He has a great chin. Nikita Krylov's not going to knock him out. I don't think that's finishing potential-wise. I think it's all on the side of Bogdan Guskov, especially because Nikita Krylov's coming off of a knockout loss. I really, really don't like that for him. Going against a power puncher like Bogdan Guskov, who's coming off a win against Ryan Spann by knockout. And Ryan Spann clipped him. Bogdan did not go down. Ryan Spann is ass, but he just recently won a fight where he grappled well offensively. Bogdan is very good at defensive grappling. If Nikita Krylov wants to grapple, he might have some success against the cage. He might have some success in general. It's not going to be easy. And when it comes to the striking, I think Bogdan Guskov has every chance in the world to finish Krylov and honestly win by decision. Bogdan is very tough, very gritty, physical. He's fucking good. And he's going to probably do good at light heavyweight and go on to be kind of a contender in the top 8 or 9. Like, the top 8 to top 4 maybe is the highest he'll maybe get. I kind of doubt it. But he's pretty good. And Krylov's coming off a knockout loss. And to me, that's enough to pick Guskov, the power puncher, to knock him out. Sadly, because I do like Krylov. And his whole situation with his country and his war with Russia and Ukraine. It's just not good. It's all, and was super inactive before the Dominic Reyes fight, and now he's taking this fight like 2 months after the knockout. All signs point to Guskov, and I'm not going to ignore them. So I'm gonna go with Guskov. Next, Asul Mabayev versus Jose Ochoa. This one's really hard to predict, but I think Jose Ochoa is very good. I think he's honestly really fucking good. His striking is super crisp. He's super dangerous on the feet. He has great takedown defense. He beat the shit out of Cody Durden in his last fight and stuffed takedowns. It was very efficient. Asu Almabayev is a very good grappler. He's no slouch on the feet. No flyweight really is. But he's coming off a knockout loss to Manel Cap, which is interesting. It's not horrible, I would say, because Manel Cap is very dynamic, very good. And it was kind of controversial because of an eye poke situation. Other than that, Asu is good in the grappling. That's what he is. And he's made that work throughout his career. Jose Ochoa is taking this fight on short notice, but he strikes me as the fighter that stays ready for this kind of thing. For these short notice opportunities, I think Jose Ochoa is going to come into this fight prepared. He's just had a fight against Cody Durden, who likes to grapple. He handled him. He finished him. I think he's going to do something similar in this fight. I really like the strikers over the grapplers at this point in the UFC. And I'm going to continue to like that, especially with Asu coming off a knockout loss. I think Jose's dangerous. His fight right before Cody Durden, he fought what the fuck is his name? Loner Kavanagh. And Loner Kavanagh is the short Chinese demon of the flyweight division who is extremely good. And he's making a run kind of in the lower rankings, the flyweight, and everybody's hyping him up as the new guy. And he made it super fucking close. Arguably, maybe could have won if you're reaching a little, he could have won. That's impressive to me. Loner Kavanagh is the guy. I think Loner Kavanagh honestly beats the shit out of Asu Almabayev. So, I'm going to go with Jose Ochoa to win. By decisions or late rounds knockout. So, like, third round knockout. Like, midway through the third round knockout. Minute 235 of the third round by knockout by right hook. Next, we have Sharon Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriault. So, there's nothing to talk about really about this fight. Sharon Magomedov is getting kind of a layup. He's very good. He's very dynamic on the feet. He's dynamic on the back foot. He's going to throw a lot of kicks. He's going to throw everything he's usually thrown. A bunch of dynamic strikes. He's not going to grapple. He's going to throw crazy shit and spinning shit. And he's probably going to knock out Marc-Andre Barriault with some crazy spinning shit. Marc-Andre's old. He's been shinned before. He got completely flatlined by Joe Pyfer a couple fights ago. I think he's coming off of a win by knockout. But you're not going to knock out Sharon Magomedov. Shara has a great fucking shin. He's not going to get knocked out by Marc-Andre Barriault. And what is going to happen is Marc-Andre Barriault is going to be kind of lost on the feet with Shara in front of him. He could land shots. People do land shots against Shara. But at the end of the day, Shara's going to be more active. He's going to do more damage. And even if it's close, which it won't be, they're going to give it to Sharon Magomedov because he's the superstar of this region. And Abu Dhabi rigs shit in favor of Magomedov type fighters. And Marc-Andre Barriault is just old, rudimentary. He's going to get picked apart by Shara on the feet. He doesn't have the power or dynamics or grappling or anything really to deal with Sharon Magomedov's game. And I don't think he's going to. And I think it's designed that way. So who am I to go against the UFC's plans and desires? I'm not going to. I'm going to go with Sharon Magomedov to win by probably knockout. Since Marc-Andre's been knocked out in the past, I know it was Joe Pyfer in his most recent knockout loss, I'm pretty sure. He might have got knocked out again after that. I know Joe Pyfer's very powerful, and Shara seems to not really be. But Magomedov gets finishes by dumb, like, random ways or by output. And I could see him TKOing Marc-Andre up against the cage after landing a nice body shot, spinning wheel kick, spinning back kick to the body, some shit like that. So yeah, next. Peter Yan versus Marcus McGee. So this one's very interesting, to be honest. This one is interesting because Marcus McGee is very sick on the feet. He's a sick boxer. He has good low kicks. He's sick. And he's going to bring a fight to Peter Yan in this matchup. But you can't pick Marcus McGee to win. Peter Yan has been the guy for a long time. He's been the striking, like, the phenom of bantamweight for a long time. He's beat the who's who. He's beaten Jose Aldo. He arguably beat Sean O'Malley. If you're going to beat Peter Yan, you either have to boring him out by grappling like Aljo did and Marab did, or you have to be very, 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 very lucky, kind of like Sean did. You have to have something that's perfect, and you have to execute it pretty much perfectly. Or Peter Yan's going to just outdo you. He's going to outdo you. He's technical. He's good at grappling. His takedowns, I've been seeing a ton of compilations about Peter Yan's trips and shit. They're slick, and they're super fucking fun to watch. Peter Yan just destroyed Davison Figueiredo in his last fight. He took a lot of time off. Now he's fighting Marcus McGee. Peter Yan kind of gets stuck with these lower contender guys because for whatever reason, bantamweight motherfuckers get matched up quick, and Peter Yan's beaten pretty much everybody in bantamweight worth a damn. Should they give Marcus McGee the shot? I don't hate it, to be honest. I think Marcus is super fun. And if Marcus does win, we have a new contender. And a fun contender at that, which I would take over the Marabs of the divisions any day of the week. But you just can't pick Marcus McGee. Peter Yan's done this too many times. He's been in too many fucking brawls. He's come out on top too many times. He's going to probably have his hands full with Marcus McGee early in the fight, in the striking. But he's never going to be overwhelmed. He's never going to feel the pressure of Marcus McGee to a degree that he can't handle. He's going to go forward. He's going to land his shots. He's going to do his thing. He's going to win by decision, or he's probably going to win by decision. I don't see him completely finishing Marcus McGee. I don't see anybody really finishing Marcus McGee by the looks of him. I think he might be like, I don't know. He's a freak. He looks weird. And I think his chin's probably pretty fucking good. And Marcus McGee's best win at this point is Jonathan Martinez, which to me, every elite fighter beats Jonathan Martinez. People beat Jonathan Martinez. So it's not super impressive by any means. And Peter Yan's resume is just too good. His skill is too good. Peter Yan's super fucking good. He's had a weird career because the circumstances was shit and super close fights not going his way and the disqualification. But Peter Yan turns the fuck up, and he's going to for this fight, and he's gonna outstrike Marcus McGee. And if anybody's gonna grapple better and grapple offensively, it's gonna be Peter Yan. And I could see him doing it against Marcus McGee, to be honest. So yeah, and then we might get Peter Yan versus Merab in the future again, which I would be okay with, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Peter Yan by decision. I don't see him finishing Marcus. Peter Yan's not a super big finisher, but he's going to win, I think. Next, the main event, Robert Whittaker versus Reiner De Ridder. So everybody's counting out Robert Whittaker pretty big here. Everybody's going Reiner, or everybody that I've talked to is going Reiner. Reiner's the guy right now. He beat Bo Nickel in his last fight. Oh, whoa, super big win. But I do understand the thought process behind picking Reiner De Ridder. He's big, he's physical. Robert Whittaker's had troubles with that in the past. He got knocked out by Dricus, who's big and weird and physical. He just got choked out by Hamzat, which his teeth exploded. And Reiner De Ridder's a big submission guy. I understand all these points. I'm not ready to count Robert Whittaker out, goddammit. I'm picking Robert Whittaker to win this fight, and I'm not just doing that because of some weird, I'm not doing it for no reason at all. I think Robert Whittaker is levels above Reiner De Ridder on the feet. I think he's going to find shots well. There is a big size advantage for Reiner De Ridder, but I think there's a really big striking advantage for Robert Whittaker. I picked Bo Nickel to beat Reiner De Ridder because I thought he was going to outstrike him and not be able to get taken down. I was wrong about both of those things, but Bo Nickel sucks. Robert Whittaker, he's been at the top of the middleweight division for a long time. He's beaten a lot of people. Reiner De Ridder's striking in the GM3 performance is something that I cannot get over. It looked like complete shit, and fucking Gerald Mearshart was tagging up Reiner De Ridder on the feet and won, to me, he won a lot of that fight. And it was because of the striking. If Reiner De Ridder can't get down Robert Whittaker right away, or he could probably do it as the fight goes on, and Robert Whittaker doesn't have crazy finishing potential by any means, I just have a feeling Robert Whittaker is going to piece up Reiner De Ridder on the feet and be able to stuff the takedowns that do come. He's had problems with that in the past. He's not a big slouch in the takedown department. And if Hamzat doesn't break his teeth, he doesn't have that choke in. I know that's dumb to say because he did break his teeth and he might have tapped to a face crank anyway. But is Reiner De Ridder Hamzat? I don't think so. I don't think he's that dominant in the grappling that where he's going to be able to do that to Robert Whittaker. I really don't think so. Robert did get ragdolled by Hamzat, but he didn't like it wasn't like a Kevin Hollanding. He was getting to positions where he could get to his feet. He was doing everything kind of correctly. He got the choke over his like face, and it wasn't like his hooks weren't fully in, and he just cranked his teeth apart, and he had a really weird jaw thing, and he got it fixed. And I don't see Reiner De Ridder having that squeeze. Maybe if his teeth explode again, that's some crazy shit, but I wouldn't expect that to happen. I don't see Reiner De Ridder finishing Robert Whittaker on the feet. I really don't see that happening. I just see Robert Whittaker being better on the feet and being able to deal with the grappling Reiner De Ridder has. And maybe Reiner De Ridder has grappling success at times. I think Robert Whittaker can get up. I think he can start rounds quick and effective. I think damage-wise, Robert Whittaker is going to have the edge on the feet. It's hard for me to say that Reiner De Ridder is going to. It is a really hard fight to predict. Because Reiner could just prove to be too big, out physical him, outpace him even. I just don't think Reiner De Ridder's fought the competition that proves to me he's going to beat Robert Whittaker. And I guess it was the same way with Dricus. But Dricus has proven to be a fucking insane championship level, possible middleweight GOAT level fighter. Reiner De Ridder was the one champion. That's not super impressive to me at this point. I think I'm going to go with Robert Whittaker by decision due to damage on the feet and being able to stuff or at least deal average evenly, like even if he has to deal with it in a way that's detrimental to his like cardio, or he gets taken down and gets back up and gets held against the cage for a bit. I think Whittaker's better on the feet, and I trust him to be in this fight. I think he's going to come back with a little bit of fire. And let's not pretend like Robert Whittaker doesn't have any finishes at all. He knocked out what's his ass, Ikram Aliskerov in the first round. And Ikram, would you 100% pick Reiner De Ridder confidently against Ikram Aliskerov? I wouldn't, to be honest. I would pick Ikram Aliskerov to beat the shit out of Bo Nickel in hindsight. It's an interesting fight. I understand the Reiner De Ridder pick. I'm just not ready yet. I still have a lot that I have to. Reiner De Ridder has to earn my pick through a Robert Whittaker fight, which would definitely earn a lot of respect. I just think his striking is abysmal. And I think he's going to get shown that you need to learn how to strike a little bit better by Robert Whittaker. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. I will see you soon.